This is speaker meeting. We're delighted to have Hahhah, het S. Where are you, Hahhah? From the Netherlands to share her experience, strength and hope with us today. Martin, could you please introduce Hahhah? Yes. Yeah, cool.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Martin, I'm an addict. And I am very comfortable coming up here, making announcements and about car alarms and whatnot. I'm a little bit more uncomfortable announcing my best friend, because that is what Hahhah is. I spent a lot of time the past couple of days contemplating my friendship with Hahhah, and Hahhah as a person, because I believe that when I come up here, the words coming out of my mind need to be profound, because I think it's all about me, but it's about Hahhah this afternoon. We became very, very close and very dear friends over the past couple of years. Looking back on it, I think we met in a time where we both did not have, we were sober and in recovery, but we didn't have a fucking clue what to do with our lives. And that's a while back now. A lot has happened since in my life, but in Hahhah's life as well. Yeah, what can I tell you about Hahhah? I've seen her do the big things in recovery. I've seen her do the little things, like make amends at a grocery shop where she shoplifted, I believe, a paprika and a lip balm or something. But she made that as well. And I say the little things, but that's not a little thing to do. That's being willing to go through any length. What I've also seen her do is make amends to her family, and that starts, as we all know here, by sitting down with your family and having the conversation. But much more important is the living amends, actually doing different things with the people in your life than you did before, and being consistent in that. And that has resulted in, I've seen a beautiful relationship grow between her and her parents and her sister, who are in the room this afternoon, by the way, as a testament to Hahhah as a person and Hahhah's recovery, I think. Yeah. And the last thing I will say is directly to Hahhah. Hahhah, I love you. I love you to death. And there's a lot of truth between us. And the book says we are people that normally would not mix. Hahhah and I are people that normally would mix, I think. I love you very much. I'm not going to take up any more of her time. Please welcome to the stage with a big, big, big round of CA applause, Hahhah from Amsterdam, people!
Look inside your tiny mind and look a bit harder, 'cause we're so uninspired, so sick and tired of all the hatred you harbor. So you say it's not okay to be gay, well I think you're just evil. You're just some racist who can't tie my laces.
Fuck you all. Here I am, I'm Hahhah, I'm an addict. Fuck, man. This is a thing. Thanks, Maarten, for introducing me. And please, God, let the words come so as they have to come from a place of love and not from ego. Please give me the courage to be vulnerable and to be honest, and to share my experience of this beautiful program. It's not about me. It's about the love I can give and can receive through this program. Okay, I needed to start with that. Fuck, it's fucking big, man. Damn. I choose this song, Maarten asked me which kind of song do you want to get to when you get up. And I have this list in my Spotify app, you know, with all the songs I liked. And I was scrolling down and down and down. And then I came in this phase in my early recovery, you know? And all the songs were dark and angry and fuck the world. And then there was this song. And I remember this song very vividly. Because I used to play it a lot in the morning when I got up. Because I need to get to move my body. You know, I needed to get the blood flow and then the fuck you, you know, it helped me. It helped me a lot. Because it's not the fuck you to you guys, you know, definitely not. It's the fuck you to the voices in my head. Because the voices in my head are the worst. They tell me that you don't like me. They tell me that you hate me. They tell me that you will laugh at me. They were telling me that this whole night. They will laugh at you. They will walk away. There's nobody. For real, you will be alone. And it's still there. Definitely, it's still there. But recovery for me is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. You know, the same as Izzy did. You know, that's it. I think that's the most brave thing to do, you know, coming up stage here and reading something. Oh my God, I was terrified. Even in a meeting when I had the alcohol statement I could do. The 2 lines, you know, that's okay. But I was looking up to those people who could read the cards without getting a red hat and slipping over the words, you know, who just could read it out loud. Without any problem. And I was like, whoa, I want to be like that. I didn't know that those people are just coming there for over and over again and just knew those words by head. I didn't know. I know now because I'm like that. Don't let me read anything from the book because I will stutter again and I will get a red hat. But yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, you know, and that my family is here. They're sitting there. Hey, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Ilse. Woo! You know, when I got asked to be here, I told it to my family. And first my mom, they said, like, can I be there? And I was like, no. No, don't come. And then my sister asked, can I come? And I was like, yeah, maybe you can come. But not Mom and Dad, you know, they cannot come. And then during the meditation, I was thinking like, fuck, that's selfish, man. That's so selfish. Those people, they've been with me my whole ride. They've been there my whole life. They've supported me through anything. And this I think, no, this is mine. You can go through misery with me, but you cannot celebrate life. That's weird, right? So I said, yes, of course you can come. And this night, you know, when I was totally panicking, literally totally panicking, sorry, Yuri, it happened. I was planning on texting them, like, maybe it's better to stay home. Because you're putting too much pressure on me. It's too fearful for me if you come. Fucking bullshit, you know? And maybe you're gonna hear some things you don't really like or you don't know yet, but it's my perspective of my life. It's my perspective of my childhood. It's my perspective. It's not the truth, what I'm telling. It's my perspective. Which I thought for a very, very long time was the truth. I always thought my way was the right way. And having the ability to look differently on the same situation is for me the freedom I'm getting from this program. It's the freedom of the mind to not be stuck in one direction, but be able to look on the same situation from a different angle. And in the beginning I couldn't, you know, for such a long time. I was convinced I had to know everything. And I was right. And even if I didn't know shit about a topic, I would act if I knew. And I would lie. And I would just... We noemen het in het Nederlands met een gestrekt been erin gaan. You know? You just go in any discussion. And the first time I noticed that I was like that because I really didn't know. You know, it was just... I was in rehab. I was 25. I was in Cape Town. I loved it. I had the opportunity or go to Amstelveen or go to Cape Town. It was in the winter, so I thought, okay, I will go to Cape Town. I will take my backpack and I will go there for 3 weeks and then I will run away. And I will do some sightseeing and some traveling. I didn't have even €1 in my pocket, you know, to buy a coffee on the airport. But I would go travel. I would call Dad. Hey, I would like to travel. That didn't happen though, because when I came into rehab, I didn't realize that I was really ill, you know. I thought maybe I have to stop snorting a bit, you know. That was a problem, but I can still smoke a bit, drink a bit, dip something, that's fine. As long as it doesn't go through my nose, I'm fine. But yeah, I was there in rehab and we were talking about God. And I loved the discussion about God. I didn't know shit about it. I had no experience with it whatsoever. Also not about spirituality. I thought it was all the same thing. It was all bullshit. If I can't see it, it's not true. So I was sitting there in that rehab thingy, having a discussion with a guy who was Muslim and another guy with another religion and spirituality and stuff. And then suddenly a guy said to me, a boy, he was younger than I was, so how does he dare to speak to me like that? And he said to me, maybe, Hannah, maybe you can say you don't know. Really, that blew my fucking mind. Of course, I didn't tell him right then, because I said, no, I know there is nothing. There is nothing bigger than people. There is nothing. Of course I know, but it's stuck in my mind. You know, that sentence like, I don't know. And looking back on it, that's my first spiritual awakening. Being able to say, I don't know. Please help me. I don't know that shit. I don't know how to make any coffee at a meeting. Please help me. You know, I was so terrified when I got my first coffee position, because for me that was the most important position. Everybody would drink it. It had to be strong, but not too strong. It's very important, right? Besides of the cookies, maybe coffee cookies. But cookies we had Kelly. And then, in the beginning I didn't ask. I just thought, okay, I use a lot of coffee and a bit extra. So I was just putting in, and then I was watching those people in the meeting. Like, when they take their first sip, what happens? In my mind, they would spit it out, and they would say, "Ugh, what awful, you're rubbish, go away." But of course it didn't happen, but I was watching like... And then later I learned that I could ask. If I knew somewhere, and I don't know how to make the coffee, I can say, hey, how do you make the coffee over here? Fucking easy, right? Fucking easy. But I didn't know. I didn't know life worked like that. Yes. Also true. I don't know where in life I didn't learn how to ask for help. I really don't know. I'm grown up in a very loving family with a mom, a dad, and a sister. You know, hardworking family, lots of love. But I don't know where I learned not to ask for help. And it just happened. You know, I decided that I need to take care of myself, and especially my emotional world. I didn't know how to ask. It's like, I'm sad, please, help me. Or I'm afraid, or whatever, I don't know. We moved around quite a bit. I'm born in the north, somewhere in the Netherlands, and small village. And when we were 6, we moved to the south. And when we were 12, we moved again. So, every 6 years we moved around. And that's okay, but I'm finding it a bit hard to talk about like that because my family is here, I start to feel it now, like, but I will do it anyway. Sorry. I just had to say it. That made me feel like I can start over again, over and over and over again. I will fuck up, and I will start over again. And that was quite convenient because I lied a lot. I lied a lot. About everything, basically. About what I liked, what I didn't like, what I ate, if I liked you or not. Everything I could make a fantasy about. Maybe it's not really about the lying, but more about the fantasy. I think my fantasy world, it's also my creative part, and I like that about myself, but it's also something I can lose myself in my fantasy world, in the stories I tell myself. And I tell them so much that I start to believe them. And then it gets a bit shady and a bit complicated. Because I told somebody this, and I told somebody that, and they don't, if they meet, I'm gonna have a problem, so we need to make a backup story, where those stories can meet. That made my life quite tensed, in control. I was the one in control. And I think that when I was about 12, 13 maybe, we moved to a small village in Limburg, for the people who are Dutch. And I really I didn't fit in there. I just didn't. I was different, I acted different, I looked different, I talked different, I was just different. So I got bullied. But I thought, if I will blend in, I will not get bullied anymore. And there was this big village party, with a lot of beer. That's what we do. In a tent, beer, carnival, yay. And I started to drink, and I started to drink right away a lot. A lot. I cannot remember what happened that night, but I can remember waking up and thinking, oh, quite a success. Apparently I throwed with beer glasses, I walked over cars, I don't know. But for me, it was a way where I can finally be me. Not that I'm the person who's walking over cars, but I was not so afraid anymore. But alcohol was not really the spot, I would love to learn that though, but okay. It didn't really work for me. But the bullying got worse. I didn't fit in, and I didn't know why. Apparently it's not normal to act like that, but I did, So the bullying got worse, bullying, I don't know. I tried harder to fit in, it didn't work. When I was about 14 or 15, I can remember smoking my first joint, and I liked it though. I started doing daily quite soon, but still it wasn't really doing the thing. Until I was about 17, and I was going to this party, and I don't know, we were going to this big rave, and my boyfriend was like bald, he was shaved, his tattoos, and a Cavello and an Aussie, Nikes, real raver, And I looked so much up to him. And there was this white stuff was on the table. I was completely blue. I didn't know anything about drugs whatsoever, nothing at all. But I knew that stuff be inside of me. I don't know what it's going to do with me, but I knew I had to have it. So it was going to the room, you know how it goes, chup. And I was observing how they were doing it, and then they said to me, Hannah, do you want something too? I said, yes, of course. I did it so many times already. And that's quite absurd, if I think, for a girl of 17 saying like that, If you're with friends, you can just say, no, I've never done it before, please, tell me, what is it? But I didn't care, because I was afraid of what they would think of me, and they would laugh at me. So I just did it, and right away, done. Yes. It was done. The voices in my head finally got quiet. It was gone. I wasn't thinking, what if he, what if she, and if I say this, they will think that, and then they will like me. Oh, that would be nice. It was gone. I could dance, I could party, I could make fun, I could laugh at everyone. It was really amazing. And I started to do it daily right away. I thought, this is my thing. This is my thing. I have found it in life. Thank you, God. I'm here now. This is it. And I started, it was amphetamine, by the way. It was really my drug. And I started to use it daily right away. I quit my school, started working in factories, in restaurants, whatever. And I started to change, My family lost me in this part a bit, I think. Not I think, I know. I started to change as a person. I got very aggressive, fighting a lot, trouble. And it continued for a couple of years, until I was 19. And they said to me, they picked me up, and my dad picked me up, and my mom, I think, was there too. They picked me up in some kind of crack house in Lelystad. Yeah, that's the real nice place to be, right? That's where the partying happens. There's some kind of shithole. And they picked me up, And I'm not sure if this is really the story how my dad and mom remembered, but this is how I remembered. They picked me up in Lelystad. We were living in Limburg. Doei, Teun. So we drove, and they said nothing. I was sitting in the back. I didn't sleep for a week. I looked like shit, Everything hurt in my body. I feel absolutely awful. And one side of me is very, very sad that I'm in the back of that car because I didn't want to be there, because I want to continue using. And another side of me is fucking happy. Please, please take me away from this place. I hated it there with all those men and these awful people, and I didn't want to be there anymore. But one side of my head is, continue using! Don't stop! And the other side of me is just terrified. I'm just done. I don't want to do this anymore. So, drove in the car. It's quite a ride, though. So we arrived at home, and my mom and dad said to me, okay, Hannah, you have an opportunity. Or you will seek help, or you go and you leave. You pack your bags and you go. And they really got me on a low point, and that's what I describe in the big book as well, If they would get me, if I was only using for one day, I would say, done, bye. But since I was so tired and so done and so broken, I said, okay, I will seek for help. So I went to the doctor the day after, and a cycle of help started. I went to rehab for the first time, and I manipulated everybody. I said it was a very nice treatment, and I did very well. But I walked away after a couple of weeks, I think, maybe 2 weeks. And I started to do a daily, how do you call it? Dagbehandeling? Day treatment, thank you, Stephanie. A day treatment. What's resulted in that I could use certain substances which they do not find in my urine. That's absolutely amazing. And I was still sober because that was my point of view. If they don't find out, I don't have a problem. Makes total sense, right? Total sense. So I could continue using, and I do the treatment. My mom and dad are happy. I had a boyfriend back then who would make the stuff for me, and I could sell it in the rehab. Also nice. So I'm helping you guys too. That was really the illusion what I was living in, right? I was helping you, I was helping myself. They don't have to find out, we are good. And I continued that for another 6 years. My mom and dad thinking I was clean. I was still using, I was moving around because obviously I was fucking up every time. I was moving from boyfriend to boyfriend. I went to Thailand for 6 months because there are no drugs. There are. I moved to Brussels because I thought there are no coffee shops, there I'm safe. And I can remember one time my dad telling me, Hannah, you know, you take yourself with you. And I really thought, yeah, I know, but you guys are the problem. So it's okay if I take myself, you know? I really could not see that one thing in life that was such a solution for me became my problem. I could not get it. I could not see it, you know? So I continued for that 6 years, you know, and I tried everything, and I started losing myself more and more, you know. I didn't know anymore who I was, what I liked, what I didn't, and I was so confused because I also lied a lot of big things, you know. Stuff happened with men. Stuff happened. I don't want to go in any detail about it, you know. But I lied about it. You know, I was about 15 and stuff happened, and I was afraid little girl, you know, and I started making up stories to cover up the pain. So I told them about a friend of mine who committed suicide. And it wasn't true, there was no friend, there was no suicide. There was rape and abuse, but there was no suicide. But I could not tell the truth, because in my head, what happened wasn't bad enough. It had to be worse. So in those years of using, I started to believe the lies I told myself. I started to believe the lies that nothing happened and that the lies I told were the truth. So I got in a fucked up situation. And every moment I wasn't using, I was sober, those thoughts came back and I felt awful. So I had to use. But when I was using, I had those thoughts that I didn't want to use. So fuck, you know? I didn't know how to do it anymore. So I called my sister one morning and I said, fuck, I cannot stop, you know? I have a problem. I thought maybe I have a problem. I think I said that. So that's when the circle again started of seeking and finding help. And there was this one man I was going to some art school back then. Well, not really going, but okay. I went there one day to a lecture, and this guy, before he started, he put a song on from Amy Winehouse, and he let it play fully, complete. And he said, if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, please come to me, because I might have a solution. And I was awake from amphetamine for a couple of days, and I was sweaty and shaky, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is talking to me, you know. And a couple of weeks later, he did it again. And then I had the courage to go to him and say, okay, I might have a problem with dosing. So he sent me to my first meeting. It wasn't the CA meeting though, but he sent me to my first meeting. But I wasn't sober, you know, I couldn't. But it was the first time I heard anything about the 12 steps. But I was sitting there and I was thinking like, yeah, okay, some things I can maybe do, but I would definitely leave out the God. What time is it, babe? Let me check first. I'm good? Okay, I'm good. I will hurry up a bit now. So that was the first meeting. The second meeting about the same, third meeting about the same. And at a certain point, I moved to Amsterdam, went to rehab, went to a sober living house. All the shit happened. And they told me about the allergy. You know, they told me because I was convinced that I was a bad person. You know, all the things I did when I was using, the ending up in the hotel rooms, the stealing from my bosses, you know, the fighting on the street. I really thought that it was me who was a bad person, but I didn't realize that it all starts the moment I start to take that first one. Then I'm fucked. If I'm on the other side of the line, I'm kind of okay. But I don't know why I keep getting back to this position, you know? Until they learned me about the allergy, you know, and about what's been Caroline taught us as well, you know, during the opening session, about the not being able to stay away from that first one. Because my mind, our mind, tells us different stories. This time it will be different. But if you change that for that, it will be fine. But okay, I'm staying in this sober living house in Amsterdam, and I'm absolutely terrified because I don't know anymore who I am. Who am I without all those substances? You know, it became my identity. I'm Hannah and I'm using. You know, that's who I am. It's my solution to everything. It's the friends I'm having. The relationships I'm having, it's all centered about that using. So who the fuck am I without? I didn't know anymore what I liked, what I didn't like, who I am. And the first 18 months I was struggling a lot. I was very, very angry at the whole world. I got diagnosed with, what are you laughing at? You weren't angry. You were. Let me think. Yeah, I got diagnosed with PCOS. No, also, but PTSD. Fucking PTSD. And the whole journey, you know, about how to build up a life as a sober person, because I didn't know. I really didn't know how to. I didn't have anybody in my surroundings who was sober. Even my mom and dad were drinking, you know, not like heavily, but there was alcohol. How do you celebrate Christmas without wine? What? And I'm not even talking about New Year's Eve, but what if I get married? I didn't have any relationship, but what if I get married? And all those what ifs, you know? I learned to keep it in the day, you know? It's just for today. It's just now. Now we are all not using, I hope. Maybe some of you, I don't know. But that's absolutely amazing, right? That we have the ability to not... We only have to choose now. This is it. Now. But yeah, the first 18 months were terrible. Just nightmare. I don't know if you're new here. It will get better. It will get better. But please work those steps. Because if you don't, it's a nightmare. And a friend of mine, he went to CA. And he absolutely changed in no time. I think 3 months, right? Something like that. 3 months. Completely different man. Really. Really true. Really, absolutely fucking true. If you're new here, and you're not so sure, give yourself about 3 months to work those steps with a sponsor. Just 3 months, 90 days, that's it. What can you lose in 90 days, right? Not so much. So he said to me, come on, Hannah, come to a CA meeting. I said, no, all those meetings are the same fellowship, doesn't matter, it's all the same. He said, come on, Hannah, put your pride on the side, come with me. I said, okay. Took some 2 weeks to get me there. But okay, I went with him to a CA meeting because I was feeling very uncomfortable about those reading cards, specifically about searching on the floor and, So I didn't want to go there, but I went and I took a service position right away and I got a text from Maarten later and he said, welcome home. Yeah, welcome home. Welcome home, guys. This is the place, this is the fellowship where I learned to build up friendships, where I learned to be vulnerable, where I learned to be myself, even though when I'm full of fear, even when I'm hiding myself on the toilet because I believe they will get me. And it happened. I was 2.5 years sober when my traumas were on like such a high level that I was hiding myself in a fucking toilet because I was afraid that they will get me on a meeting. I was going like this on the street. You might all know, But I was 2.5 years sober when I had again go into a rehab for 7 weeks to get my therapy. But I was able to do it. I was able to get through it. I was able to face all those pain from the past because I was working in recovery, because I was working those steps. And did it feel unfair? Oh, yes. Hell yes, I was angry. Why does it happen to me now when I'm so long in recovery? But we all have to face our demons from the past one day. We really have to. There is no escaping anymore. And the freedom I got from facing those demons is amazing. It's really amazing. I can remember when the last World Convention, it was the first time I was experiencing such a freedom, I drove on my motorbike, I shaved my head. I drove on my motorbike to Stockholm with a tent on the back. Yeah. And I drove there, And I was free. I could be with myself, with my own thoughts. What an amazing freedom is that, to be with our own thoughts. Wow. I could be in quiet. I didn't needed you guys to feel safe. Wow. I think that's the greatest gift we get from this program, a bit of peace of mind. And that's exactly what I get from that first line of amphetamine. Isn't that amazing? I found a true solution for my true problem. Whoa. I think I cannot, I was thinking about when was the first time I really can remember that the obsession truly had been lifted. I cannot remember so vividly, because I think it went gradually, geleidelijk. Because I wasn't aware of the impact of my obsession. But I can remember that when I thought I had to leave Amsterdam and I lived somewhere on the countryside, so I went to Austria on the motorbike again, because I thought I could find freedom in nature. I'm not a nature person. But I was living there in this hippie community, and I loved it though. but it's not my lifestyle. And I was waking up in the morning, and I walked into the kitchen, and there were all like half bottles of beer. What I already found a bit weird, though. But there was not even one thought in my mind that wanted to finish that. And then I thought, yes, I'm fucking free, man. Finally, I'm free. God damn, that took a while. But that's absolutely, and now I know how my mom, dad, and sister drinks. Now I know if it's not constantly yapping in your mind and you can just drink it and put it on the side, then I understand. But that's not how my mind works. My mind, I was a little child, I already wanted to go into the Sambuca. I loved it. And then I had to bike to school, you know, like 15K, I don't know how many miles or whatever it is. It's a long ride, especially when it's winter and it's cold. And then we had these bottles of liquor in the closet below the stairs. So I just walk into the closet, take a few sips. It's nice, it's warm inside. And then I bike to school, no problem. I didn't realize that it's not quite normal. It helped me, right? It helped me to get, I have 5 minutes. It helped me to get warm on the inside. And that's what I wanted, a bit warm on the inside. Because I'm such an afraid little girl. I'm so afraid to ask for help. I only want some little warmth from the inside. That's the only thing I want. But I'm not getting that from that bottle in that closet. Really not. Really. It's not going to happen from that white powder. Really. I'm getting it for you guys, you know. I'm getting it from sharing and being honest and be vulnerable. That's where I feel the love from the inside. And that's what we're sharing here together, you know. So if you're new here, please get a sponsor. Please get a sponsor. A sponsor is just someone who can work the 12 steps with you. Because that's the thing that's going to give you that freedom. Not going to a meeting and drinking coffee and eating lots of cookies, that's nice, but it's not going to give you any freedom. And I tried it a lot. I tried it. And I knew in Amsterdam every meeting with the best cookies, the nicest coffee. And I would come in after the reading cards, because that part is a bit boring. You know? And it didn't help. I was so miserable. I hated my life. I was fantasizing about using daily. And one friend of mine, he's not here, but he shares this quite often. If you don't know how to ask a sponsor, go to someone and say, hey, do you want to be my sponsor? Huh? Clear-cut directions, that's what I like. That's what I got from my first sponsor into CA, you know. She gives me very clear-cut directions, and that's what I needed. She was very clear. But do you know what she also did? She showed up. When I was full of fear, she would stand in front of my house in the car and say, come in the car. We go to a meeting. And she went with me. She took me everywhere. She will buy me food, she will buy me coffee, she will drive me everywhere. And then in the end I would say, can I pay something for the gasoline? I didn't have any money, so I was really hoping that she would say, no, love, it's fine. And she said, there will be one day. There will be one day where you can do for others what I'm doing for you. And that's true. That's really true. You know, the thing that I absolutely love the most is helping others, you know, sponsoring women, getting them through the steps. It's something amazing we do. I cannot explain. Sometimes I call it to someone outside of these rooms, you know. I call it the Sober Living Club. Because I don't know how to explain it. Because if I say AA, it sounds so, I don't know, like in the movies or something, you know. It's not, I'm getting a new life here. This is not a boring old man's religious place. It's a place where you can find your own true self. With your God, of your understanding, what works for you. The past 6 months, I've started to work in a different program too, also with a big book, with a different sponsor, and I got a completely different new experience. Wow. Different God, new experience. Mind blown, really. It works. I'm sober now for 7.5 years, and I keep developing. And that's about it, you know. Every time wanting some more freedom, every time wanting more development, more connection, more love. Because I always want more, I still want more. Okay, guys, I'm gonna round up. I want to thank you all. Yeah, you can clap now, it's fine. Oh, I got one question. You know, before you all leave, I got one question. Could we please, I know it's very inconvenient, but I would love to show my parents. Could we please round up and make a circle? Could we? Oh, we do it with serenity prayer. Oh, not now yet. Not now yet. Okay, bye. Oh, I need to stay.
Even klaar nog. Cool. Wow. That's the message. That's what I want to hear. That's what I need. Okay. Oh yeah, because I'm an addict. My name is Mark. Yes. Unfortunately, our time is up. If you have any questions that went unanswered, or if you feel the need to share, please introduce yourself to someone after the meeting and exchange phone number. We're here all to help. Convention-related announcements, are there? How boring, they aren't. Okay, this one, please, Maarten.
My name is Maarten, I'm an addict. This is a non-smoking venue. Vaping is considered smoking too, so there's no vaping inside. And I just got a text about the banquet times. Let me see. The banquet room, so the restaurant where the banquet is, will be open at 5 tomorrow. The banquet will open at 5, and doors will close at 5:45. So it's probably going to be real strict about that. So please bear that in mind. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Martha. Okay, and I would like to have Stephanie reading for us A Vision for You. Yeah, Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm still an addict.
Hey, Stephanie.
A Vision for You. A book is meant to be suggestively, only. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask Him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man or woman who is still sick. The answers will come if your own house is in order. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you haven't got. See to it that your relationship with Him is right, and great events will come to pass for you, and the countless others. This is the great fact for us. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the reckless of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then.
Thanks, Stephanie. Let me see. Okay. After a moment of silent meditation for the still suffering addict, we'll close with the serenity prayer. In a circle, of course, with mom and dad of Hannah. But first, and that's, okay, now, first I want to do something else. Please give a big applause for Loïc. He is doing the technician for us. He is giving us the sound. He's giving us the light. He's giving us the video. Loïc! Okay. And now that moment of silence for the still suffering addict. After that we circle up. Yes. Okay, we circle up. Anna, wil jij iets zeggen over je vader en moeder? Of, wil jij iets zeggen met vader en moeder? Of, nee? Ja, we gaan gewoon doen. Ik wil het laten maken. Hey, super, goed zo. Dan laat ik deze weer. I have a new hit since 3 months. Loïc, microfoon maar uit. Loïc! Ja, super.
The people. Yeah. Exactly.
We have that circle. Everybody in? Everybody in. And help your neighbor. As close as you can, because he helped me. He keeps me alive today. And who's in charge? God.
Man is humanity to accept the things that cannot change, the courage to change things that can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just stay. Thanks for sharing features with me.